everyone. Welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. Today is Monday. Well, we all know it's Monday, but it's the week of Thanksgiving, and I wanted to have this phenomenal lady on the show. We're going to be talking about, because some of you guys know that I've experienced being homeless as a teenager. I ran away and lived in the streets of New York, and we'll talk about that on another show. So whenever there's someone in the community doing something that's positive, particularly for the homeless, or as I like to call us, people displaced. I prefer that word than homeless. So we have a phenomenal lady by the name of Miss Brenda Rhodes. She's with a company that's called Simple Needs Georgia. I said it right. Because I constantly leave the GA off, so I want to make sure that Simple Needs Georgia, Miss Brenda Rhodes. She's the founder of the company, and we're going to talk to her. But before we do that, we have to thank our sponsor. We have to thank our collaborator, Mr. RJ and Asha Patel. They're at PCT Cleaning, prestigious cleaning team. They're at 2655 Cobb Parkway, Suite 108, Kennesaw, Georgia. I'm telling you, if you're looking for someone who can do thorough cleaning with green products, RJ and Asha, they're your people, okay? So make sure you give them a call if you're looking for a cleaning team. Their number is 770-422-5326. Let me repeat that again. It's 770-422-5326. Now, without further adu, let's talk to my new favorite lady, Miss Brenda Rhodes. How are you, Brenda?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Well, I want you to come on the show because I want us to talk about, since this is the week of giving and being thankful for what we have and who's in our lives, can you please tell us a little bit about your company and how did you come up with the name? I have a bunch of questions to ask you. So, yeah, let's get down and dirty. But dirty, and we're in a cleaning location. Okay. So, can you please tell us a little bit about Simple Needs Georgia? Who are they? What is your mission? And why did you decide to do this?
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much for having me. It's a wonderful thing that you're doing, is to get the word out about other people and what people are doing and promote goodness. I mean, that's what we should all be about here.
Mm-hmm.
So I started Simple Needs Georgia based on needs that I saw in the community. I volunteer a lot. I volunteer at most ministries. I volunteer at Center for Family Resources, and the list would go on and on if I listed everyone. But I do a lot of volunteering. So I was volunteering at the shelter, and the residents there who are homeless, and they can stay there for 4 to 6 weeks, depending on what's going on in their lives. And they were giving out a little shampoo and a little soap, and sometimes they had deodorant, sometimes they didn't. I need to stress that every nonprofit can't do everything, so I'm not saying anything bad about any nonprofit that doesn't do everything, because we don't do it either.
Right.
But I was just seeing a little gap. I like to fill in needs, and kind of it's what I do. So I decided that I would start helping out, making sure they had deodorant. Some of the people were coming in and they had a garbage bag of things, so I thought they needed a bag to put their things in. So I started collecting duffel bags. I started getting full-size toiletries. So before I started the nonprofit, for 1.5 years out of my house, I just bought it. I can't even count how many toiletries, and we did every hygiene item. There was one guy who came up with a little soap, and he said, "You have a soap box," when I was volunteering, and I said no, so we added that to the bag. So the bags have grown over the years, so I did those for 1.5 years, started the nonprofit. Those bags still go to the residents of most ministries, and they contain everything you can think of from a hygiene perspective, also pens and notepads, because they might have nothing to write with. The water bottle, so they can fill it up with water. And we don't put words and bucket cards, something to play over there. So that's the impetus for the entire nonprofit. So I did that for 1.5 years. During that time, I lost my job and I was laid off, and I started volunteering during the day at Must as well. So I was volunteering with the people who live in the woods and live on the streets.
Right.
And they were coming and asking for tents, tarps, sleeping bags. And again, sometimes they had them, sometimes they didn't. So I just started thinking, I'm spending a lot of money here, and let me think about starting a nonprofit. I volunteered in enough of them. And we'll do the bags, and we'll also do the things for people who live in the woods. And then the third program we started with was furniture. So as I was volunteering there, the residents were coming up to me and saying, "Hey, do you know anybody who has a dresser? Do you know someone who has a couch. And I'd say, well, let me think about that. So I started just putting together this before Facebook, at least that I wasn't on Facebook by then. I'd have an email list of everybody and I'd send it out and said, who has what? And so they would send me, I've got this, I've got that. And then I would give that piece of paper to that person and they would go pick up the things they needed.
Well, it sounds pretty simple and easy, but I want to step back because when you said, okay, I volunteered and, this is what I did, and then I said, let me create a nonprofit. For those out there who don't understand, because that's what I want them to get, because right now we're in the community, we need to help the community. So what did it take from, okay, I'm volunteering to actually jumping without the net, this is what I'm going to do. Because so often we have good intentions, but we don't follow through. And I'm not criticizing anyone, but you actually said, this is what I'm gonna do, and you did it. So what was that pivotal moment for you when you volunteered to say, okay, I'm not criticizing anyone, but there's a need. One nonprofit, all the nonprofits can't do everything. So there's a hole, there's something that you need to fill. So what made you decide that, okay, I can do it.
Well, I did used to own my own business. So out of college, I started my own business. I did typesetting, pre-desktop publishing. So before the Macs and everything.
Yeah.
So I did have my own business before. So I thought maybe it would be something similar. It's not, but it is. So, and again, volunteering with so many nonprofits and being on a lot of committees for nonprofits, I understood the board process and strategic plans and things like that, just doing so many things for other nonprofits. And I think, I'm trying to think of what really made me jump in. A lot of it, honestly, was the cost. It was pretty expensive to do the bags, and then I was thinking about the furniture and people running trucks and just about all the cost behind it. And knowing that if somebody helped me out with someone, it wasn't tax deductible. Like if they gave $500 to help someone with a rental truck, for example, they couldn't deduct that really. So that all of those things kind of combined, and I decided to go for it. And I went to the online classes at ASU for the certificate of nonprofit, and that's actually where I learned a little bit more about mission statements, coming up with the name. You asked about the name. That was a process. I was thinking needs was definitely going to be part of it. I started with basic needs, but we don't do basic needs. We don't really do food or clothing per se. So simple just jumped to mind. And over the years, I've realized that furniture is not simple. But still, that's what we decided to go with.
So, okay, so you started the nonprofit. What exactly, because I read the mission statement, what exactly is it that you do and what makes you different from all the other nonprofits? I want to hear, what is it that you do? Because I want people out there, particularly, you're in Georgia, so I just want you to just tell us exactly what is it that you do.
Okay, well, I will say that it is a little complex. Over the years, we keep adding programs. So I will probably say that I'm the only one who can specifically say absolutely everything we do and who we do it for.
Okay.
And I'm not sure that's a good thing, but I feel like we're helping a lot of people in a lot of ways, and if that means that people don't get 100% of what we do, that's okay. So we're still doing what we do. So doing the furniture and all of that is, again, for people coming out of homelessness. A lot of them are domestic violence victims, just a fire, that kind of thing. And people who come through to us for most of our programs are through referrals, either from other agencies or schools. We work very closely with the school districts. So we started with those 3 programs of the furniture, the bags, and the sleeping bags, things like that. Over the years, we've increased volume for those programs. We've added other shelters for the bags. And then about, say, 2.5 to 3 years in, it's been about 8.5 years now, we decided that we wanted to do something particularly for children. And one of the people on our board at the time, when she was growing up, her parents had very little money. So when her birthday rolled around on December 1st, she often got nothing. Her parents just ignored her birthday and pretended it didn't happen. Just never did. And I just can't imagine nothing. Not even a happy birthday. I'm sorry, I can't get you something. Here's a card or homemade anything. It's just really, and so she came up with a program name called My Birthday Matters, which really kind of hits home.
That's what you kind of showed me earlier. Okay, wait till you guys see this. Okay, so It says Simple Needs Georgia. Do you service the entire state, or is it just where?
Mainly for Cobb County, and not every program is all of Cobb County,
Right.
because we can't afford it. It's just be too much work and too many resources. So a lot of our programs are targeted in Marietta City schools, for example, and then some we reach out to other Cobb County schools, and there's one program we do all of Cobb County.
So let's say someone gives me a call and says, "Hey Jackie, I'm a domestic violence survivor and I'm leaving my husband tonight. Do you know of?" Because I've had issues like that. People call me, for concerns. Do I refer them to you, or how are you getting referrals other than the school? So for something like that, and Must Ministry. So because we get a lot of people reaching out to us for resources. So who would be your ideal client for me to refer to?
Well, again, it depends on the program, and we don't do housing per se, so we like to say we help people feel comfortable in the situation they're in at the time. So, for example, we help people who live in the woods. We help people who live in a hotel, potentially at a shelter. And some people say to us, "Why don't you try to help them get out of that situation?" I said, "Well, that's just not our mission. It may be some other nonprofit's mission, but that's not ours. We want to be able to do what we can at that moment in time to make their lives better." So as far as referrals come, we do get people who come to our website and they reach out and say, "Hey, I see that you help with this." And if we can help them, and if they need to be in Cobb, again, it depends on the program. It's another thing, it's so complex. But depending on their location and exactly their situation, we can help them, or we can refer them to other places as well.
Okay. One of the things that I wanted to do when I became of age was I wanted to remove the stigma, because you really don't have a lot of celebrities out there talking about homelessness. I hear the celebrities talking about they didn't have enough food. So I want to help remove the stigma, because I lived it, breathed it, and had this happen to me. So I wanted to remove the stigma, because imagine a 16-year-old running away from home, and of all places, you're running away to Manhattan. Okay? That's a whole nother story. So my question to you is, what would you like the viewers to know about what you're doing? Because we have to help stamp that stigma out, because some people believe you have the working homeless, the working poor, people who are living in their cars, going to work every day, and you don't even know that they're homeless. You have kids going to school not knowing that they're homeless. So what advice would you like to give someone out there? Because for me, the first thing, whenever I'm parked in a big parking lot, I like looking in cars to see if I see a lot of stuff packed up in there, and that's how I identify if someone's homeless or going through a transition, so to speak. So what advice can you give someone out there listening? Because somehow they believe, because I've ran into so many people when I tell them that I was homeless, and they're like, "Were you stinking? Were you smelling out in the street?" So they believe that it's, back in the day they used the word bum or something. They're expecting someone to be drunk, and that's not the case. So can you share your experience, please?
Sure. And to talk about the terminology, we actually try not to use the term homeless itself. We say experiencing homelessness, because that way it's not a tag. It's just a state of being at the time. So, but one of the other places the kids will stay are hotels. So those are families who are also homeless. Experiencing homelessness is not having your own roof over your head.
Right.
So if you're couch surfing, if you're in a shelter, of course, if you're living in your car, a hotel, if you're just transitioning and you don't have a residence. So our birthday program, for example, when we were coming up with that, we decided that we would target kids who are considered homeless. So we do birthdays for kids who live at Must Ministries, Family Promise of Cobb, Live Safe Resources, which is the domestic violence shelter, and the extension, wrong program. See, I'm getting confusing myself. So, in any case, and then the other thing we do is through the school district. So there's certain social workers who know about the birthday program, and when they know that a student is considered homeless through the school district, either a hotel or shelter or otherwise, they make sure that we know about what they want for their birthdays. And we ask them specific questions. What's your favorite color? What do you want? What are your favorite characters? What animal do you like? So that we can give them the stuffed animal they want, the gift that they want, the correct color of the pencil sharpener. Not that we have every color. And we allow them to choose if they want a tablet, if they want a bike, if they want. We have a limit on cost, but it's $100 for the gifts plus everything else we do. We do a no-soap lease blanket. wrap up in a blanket. We give them underwear, socks, books, coloring books, a homemade chocolate lollipop from a friend of mine makes. We try to make it as special as possible, not giving them things they might not want,
Right.
because this may be the only thing, this may be all that they get for their birthday.
You know, and I think that's commendable of what you're doing, because what people don't understand, let's step back for a minute, couch surfing. Couch surfing, usually, it doesn't have to be in college, but I've experienced in talking to a lot of kids that are in college, they have a lot of friends, or a couple of friends that will couch surf. They don't have their own dorm, so they will sleep on their friend's couch. And they'll go from dorm to dorm to do this. And then obviously you have friends who go, hey, can I sleep on your couch this month or next week? And I want people to understand, it's this homeless situation, we really have to get involved. And I think there are some people that believe because you live in Cobb County, the homelessness is not in Cobb County. Let's talk about that one.
Right.
Because I constantly hear people who want to help with the homeless, they're going to Atlanta. You don't have to go to Atlanta. Bell's Ferry is where you need to go in Cobb Parkway, okay? Yes, I said it. Bell's Ferry and Cobb Parkway. Those are the people that live in the forest, or even Cartersville. There's people that live in a whole family, host of family. So you don't have to go to Atlanta. So now that you know this, so like for example, what's a typical day for you?
Well, I actually have a full-time job, so so Monday through Friday during the day, I'm attempting to work my corporate job.
Okay.
But every evening and almost definitely every weekend, I do tons of email, lots of phone calls, just spreadsheets galore, just trying to organize who needs what, where are we doing inventory. Inventory is a huge thing because we have 7 programs, so we have to figure out what type of furniture do we need, what do we need for birthdays, what do we want to post on Facebook today, all sorts of things of what, and my goal is someday, and dream of course, is to work for Simple Needs Order full time, but I right now this is not possible.
Speak it into existence, it will happen. Speak it into existence.
Yes.
Okay, so you're doing spreadsheets, you have a corporate job. So for someone out there who's looking, who says, you know what, I'm burning a hole in my pocket, I have money that needs to be written off, I just have to do something, but I'm looking for an organization. God, send me an organization. How can they get in contact with you? What's your social media following and, phone numbers and things like that?
Okay. Well, we do a Facebook page, of course, Simple Needs GA. And also the email is info@simpleneedsga.org. If that's a lot easier for me to respond to emails. Phone calls are hard for me to get to for a little while, but we do have a phone number which is 678-266-3344. But again, email is the best way to contact us. You can also go to our Facebook, our website,
Right.
and there's a contact us on the website as well.
Where do you see yourself 5 years from now?
That's a good question. We actually do a strategic plan each year. We do a 1 year and a 3 year with the board, and there's 11 people now on our board of directors.
Okay.
So we don't want to expand too much because we can't, because we don't have the staff and the volunteers to do it. But every year we say that, but every year we expand something. We either add a program or we do something more. It just happens.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it just happens. So we keep saying we're not going to add any new programs as well, but one especially for kids who are in hotels or in a situation where they don't have a lot of money, the family doesn't have a lot of money. We started a new program called Simply Fun to get the kids out to do things. This past summer, a theater group did a theater production, and they brought some of our kids in and did a little birthday party for them and gave them gifts. One of the moms there said, "This is the only thing my son has done the entire summer. No funds." And it really, I guess it's obvious, but it wasn't that obvious until that day. And one of the girls who was there said this was the best day of my life because she got to see a show, she got to see princesses. So we want to help kids who can't do those things because their parents can't afford it. So we're just gathering tickets for shows and we're trying to get them out.
See, we're going to for me, we're going to do a show about my experience being homeless. So I'm going to have my interns interview me, and we're going to do a show on that. Because for me, it was a pivotal moment, and I eventually have to meet Melissa Rivers because Joan Rivers saved my life when I was out on the streets. I had no idea, And, you know, when you're amongst women who were lady of the night, so to speak, I didn't know God was actually watching my path, because I could have ended up, I was this close from sex trafficking. Oh my God. So when I think about certain things now, that's why, you know, sometimes when you do things in life, you don't know why you're pulled back to do other things. And now I see why I pulled back and why I feel like I have to give when it comes to people being displaced, people experiencing homelessness. Yes, granted, I wasn't thrown out. I chose to leave. I thought I was grown. I could do it. I knew everything. But I ended up in some pretty bad situations that by the grace of God, I'm still standing here. Because of Joan Rivers, I was able to get into the Covenant House and do a lot of amazing things in New York. And go to Broadway plays. I mean, it was just phenomenal. We were living like now, most people when they're homeless, they go through a lot and they're, you know, eating out of garbage cans. Somehow God ordained it for me to walk the right path and end up living in a dormitory type of a thing. It was phenomenal. But before getting there, it wasn't, you know? So I want people to understand my path, and this is my mission. This is why I'm driven to talk about homelessness and things like that, because I've experienced it firsthand. I've seen people eat out of the garbage. I've seen people wait for McDonald's, and I don't care if they're plant-based, they're eating whatever they can eat to satiate that hunger. So I get it. I've seen families, fathers and mothers in the street, you know, cold. I mean, I remember that, and you know, my mind, when you were talking, I zoned out for a minute, because you didn't know this, because I was just, when you mentioned about the theater, my mind just automatically transported me back to the theater, you know. So it's just a great thing that you're doing, because again, I like the fact that we're constantly saying we're part of the community. So what are we doing to help the community? What are we doing? And I see that you're doing something great. Now, if someone wants to get in touch with you to possibly volunteer, are you looking for people? What are you looking for someone, like, what kind of volunteers are you looking for?
We hold a donation drive the first and third Saturday of each month from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. And we're located, I don't know how many miles, just that direction. Just off Cobb Parkway is where our warehouse is, and where we have most of our program supplies, and then we have furniture in a different location. But we can use volunteers most for our first and third Saturdays. And then once people get involved, then there's other things they can do, but we like them to come and learn about our programs and learn our space and all that we do. And then we do need help with delivering to clients, delivering birthdays to families, things like that. We always need, and this is a fun one, we always need people with trucks and labor to pick up and deliver furniture. Last year we did 77 families for furniture, and this year we're already at 110.
Wow. And
so we seriously need some more help, because otherwise we have to keep renting trucks and hiring people, and
Didn't you win? Did you get some sort of? Because I went on your page, because you know I do that. Did you get some sort of a grant or something like that this year?
Yeah.
Let's talk. Come on, stop bragging about your company.
Well, we do apply for some grants. So Wells Fargo gave us $5,000. We got money from FLH Bank. I'm not gonna remember everybody.
Right.
IBM gives us a grant mainly for volunteer hours, because we have a lot of IBMers on our board and otherwise.
And that's okay, because there's always, you know, this
so
is
we're always looking for companies that have a heart and want to help.
Now, for someone out there starting a nonprofit, can you talk about that journey, about nonprofit journey? Because there's so many people out there that want to do so many things, but can you briefly talk about the nonprofit journey?
Sure. So, again, I've mentioned the KC classes that I took, and I highly recommend doing something like that before you even get into it, because you'll understand what it takes. So you obviously need a board of directors, you need to apply for your 501c3, and just to do the paperwork for that is pretty intense. Yeah, it is, and I started it, and then I ended up passing it off to an accountant who advertised they did it, and it was so much better having them do it because they understood
the language.
Right, and like somebody had said to me, oh, you need to have it at least 2 inches high, and no, ours was very tiny, and we got approved in about 3 months, which is unknown. I don't even know how God, for sure, helped us get that. So, so there's you have to obviously have the name of it, you have to register that with the state. I'm sure there's other little things, but it's been a while since I did it. But you've got to follow all the little steps to get there. You need to create your mission statement. Of course, you want a website and your Facebook page. To have you definitely want some sort of a plan, like not a business plan per se, but you need a plan, and then eventually you want a strategic plan to keep it going. And it really depends on what you're doing, what are other things you need to put in place. We were very lucky to get the space that we got because I met someone who had a heart, and he said, hey, let me help you get some space.
Okay, so we're talking about Simple Needs, Georgia. What do you do to de-stress? Because I'm an advocate for women too. I saw that. I'm not going to pretend I didn't see it. I'm an advocate for women when it comes to self-care, taking care of yourself. Because so often we don't do that. We have the kids that go to school, and I just want women to know that they should take care of themselves. So what do you do to take care of yourself? Having a Brenda day.
I don't do that. Well,
did y'all hit?
I did a portion of yesterday.
Wait a minute, I gotta cut you off right.
I got my car washed.
I gotta cut you off. Yeah, you gotta do this. You're out there feeding, and you're basically helping people out there, and you're telling me that, and I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying, and you're not taking care of yourself.
Well, I'm not doing nothing. I do I have a season pass to the Lyric Theater.
Okay.
I sing in 2 choirs. I sing in my church choir and the Georgia Symphony Orchestra chorus. So those are fun.
So you can sing. Oh my goodness. Can we keep the music so we can have her singing?
I did not prep for that.
Look, when you come on this show, you gotta bring it. Okay.
We're not doing that, right?
Okay, don't keep the music. Forget it. So you do find time.
Yeah, and I had dinner out with friends last night.
Okay. So you do things.
Yeah,
okay.
It's not nonstop action, but
right.
But it's most of my life is pretty organized, scheduled. So people say, well, when can we do this? I'm like, well, next Tuesday, and then maybe the following Thursday, and then.
My God, right.
But I've always been like that.
Okay, type A.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I worked years ago, I worked full time for IBM, and I volunteered without my nonprofit. I volunteered about 900 hours a year. It was just nonstop. I love
to do things. You like to keep busy, and you like to keep busy. Again, we have Miss Brenda Rhodes here with Simple Needs, Georgia, and her mission basically, it's all about. Tell us your mission statement.
I'm not going to remember from. Wait, it's on my card. Ooh.
I was going to say anything. I'm like, do you want me to read it?
It's to meet the simple needs of children, people experiencing homelessness, and those in crisis, while inspiring our community to do the same.
Wow.
So, and one of the ways we do that is we encourage children to, instead of getting birthday gifts for themselves, is to collect gifts for our birthday kids. And we've had quite a few kids who. And
that's showing them how to, help within the community. Well, we want to thank you guys for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Let me give, we need you guys to like, subscribe, follow, because we have Snapchat, we have YouTube. I'm telling you, with my intern, I'm going to be on and popping. Okay. Our Snapchat is the Women Are Worthy Network. Our Facebook channel is the Women Are Worthy Show. Our Instagram is the Women Are Worthy Show, and our YouTube is the Women Are Worthy Network. Make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and more importantly, share. Sharing is caring. And again, Thanksgiving is coming up, and we want to make sure that everyone enjoys. Please have a safe Thanksgiving. Please enjoy yourself. Don't eat too much. Happy gobble gobble for some, and some sacrilegious coming from a vegan person. But happy gobble gobble. Happy tofurkey, whatever they want to call it. I have no idea. But just enjoy yourselves and just make sure, take this time because the holidays are here. Make sure to actually reach out to someone, because right now I'm seeing a lot of people are just passing. A lot of people are not getting up. A lot of people are just, there's so many funerals that's within my circle. So just make sure you reach out and tell someone you love them. Make sure you take time for yourself. Make sure you just read and just take that Calgon, take me away. So with that said, see you next week. Have a great Thanksgiving. Bye guys.